Okay, welcome back, folks. This is algebraic fractions homework. I'm going to be recapping today. It's also like it was it's a test as well. Good little test. So you have 3 minus 6 over x equals x over 3. Now, the thing about these questions here, you have to make sure that the x's that we have here and here, we have an x in the numerator position and x in the denominator position. We need to get rid of all the x's in the bottom and move to the top. Okay, so let's have a look how we can do that. So now we have here 3 can be represented as 3 over 1. So we have on the denominator side we have a 1, an x, and a 3. We need to find the LCM. And the LCM of 1, x, and 3 is 3x. So by multiplying every item here, so this is one item, this is the second item, this is the third item. By multiplying each one of these items by 3x, we will eliminate the denominators and hence get the x to the top. Okay, so let's get rid of those arrows for the moment. Right, let's get rid of them. That's gone. Good. So if you times this by 3x, we times this by 3x, and we times this by 3x. Right, let's change color, something that I can see. All right. Now, the whole point of doing that is it will cancel off. Okay, now our x here is, there we go. Divide that by x, divide that by x. Divide this by 3, divide this by 3. So we eliminate the denominators. Now we have left on top 3x times by 3, which will give us 9x. Minus 6 times by 3, that will give you minus 18 equals. And then you're left with x times by x. That will give you x squared. If you look carefully, what we have here is the remnants of a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation meaning, so we have an x squared term, we have an x term, and we have a constant term. So the way we make it look like quadratic equation properly is by rearranging the rule and moving everything from the left to join the x squared on the right hand side. So it can become one big happy quadratic little family. Okay, let's have a look. So we have 0 left here now. We have x squared. We have minus 9x, because it was plus 9x, it becomes minus. It was minus 18, so that becomes plus 18. So now we need to factorize this. So we're looking for two numbers that time to give you plus 18, but when you add them up, it gives you minus 9. So that will give you x minus 6 and x minus 3. Now, to finish it off completely, we need to now solve for x. So opposite of minus 6 here will give us x is equal to plus 6. And opposite of minus 3 to make this part 0 will give us x is equal to plus 3. So this is the solutions to this above equation here. Okay, next question. We have 8 over x equals 32 over 36. Now, this can be done quite simply as an equivalent fractions question. So we could do this as, let's get a different color. So 8 times by 4 is 32. So the bottom one times by 4 will give you 36. So that means x must be equal to 9. And that one's done in that one quick scoop. Done. Next question. Question number 3. Question number 3. What we have here, we have again situation where x's are in two different positions. You have an x in the top position here on the left, and x in the denominator position. Now we need to get the x's together. And so what we do now, we say opposite of dividing by x minus 6 is to times by x minus 6. So we now have x times by x minus 6 equals 27. If we multiply this out now, okay, you get x times by x is x squared, x times by minus 6 is minus 6x, and if you bring the 27 over, minus 27 equals 0. So we're looking for two numbers that time to give you minus 27 and add up to minus 6. So we write down here x. So we know minus 9 times by plus 3. So minus 9 times by plus 3. So if we were to write the solution for that particular equation, so opposite of minus 9 will give us a solution of x equals plus 9, and opposite of plus 3 will give us a solution of minus 3. Okay, so that's question number 3 done. Question number 4 now is a variation of question number 3 to the fact that we need to we need to cross multiply. So I don't know whether you've come across cross multiply before. What we say here, this bottom comes to the top by multiplying, opposite dividing times, and this bottom here will come to this top of here by multiplying, opposite dividing by 5x minus 2, so times by 5x minus 2. So we now have, oops, that line's not right. We should now have 3 lots of x, 3 lots of 4x plus 2 equals 2 lots of 5x minus 2. So what looked quite complicated actually works out to be a nice linear equation. Now we need to multiply out the linear equation. We need to multiply out this linear equation. So that gives us here 12x add 6 is equal to 10x minus 4. So now when we solve these double-sided equations, we need to make sure we get the x's onto one side and the numbers onto the other side. So we have the smaller x value, move that to the left, move the number to the right. So we now have 12x minus 10x, because it was opposite 10x plus 10x is minus. We already had minus 4, and we joined with the minus 6. Because opposite add 6 is minus 6. So we have 12x minus 10x, that will give us an answer of 2x. Minus 4 minus 6 will give us an answer of minus 10. And then opposite timesing by 2, so divided by 2 minus 10 divided by 2 will give us an answer of minus 5. And that's the end of question number 4. We've got just a few more questions left before we finish this small work test. Okay. Okay. Question number 5. We have x equals 27 over x minus 6. Same. I think that's identical to question number 3, so we can ignore that question. That's just a repeat question. That's that one's done nice and quickly. Right. No, we're not supposed to get that page yet. Here we go. Now this next question here, question number 6. What we're going to do, let's see if we can get our paint organized. Paint. Okay, right. Let's read the question. Let's copy that question up here so we got more space to do the question. Okay, so we have 1 over 1 minus x minus 1 over 1 plus x is equal to 2. So when we do this question, we have to do exactly the same what we learned in the previous questions. We need to make sure that we work out the LCM, the lowest common multiple of the denominators. So here's your first denominator, here's the second denominator, and here's your third denominator. So the lowest common multiple of this one, these 3 denominators will be the multiple of these 2. So the LCM will be equal to, okay, before I write that down, let's get rid of those circles. And all those, okay. That's lovely. So we said that the LCM of the denominators is 1 minus x and 1 plus x. So I left space on purpose so I can fit those in. So I'm going to write over here now 1 minus x, 1 plus x, 1 minus x, 1 plus x. Now, remember we have 3 items, as I said earlier. 3 items altogether. We have to multiply every single item by this LCM technique. So we can't leave anything out. That way we'll keep the equation equivalent as we change it, manipulate it. Now, let's do the cancelling part now. The whole point of doing this LCM technique was to eliminate the denominators. So 1 minus x disappears with that one because you're timesing and dividing it. 1 plus x disappears with that one, and everything else stays as it is. So we're left with now, 1 lots of 1 plus x minus 1 lot of 1 minus x is equal to 2 lots of 1 minus x, 1. That's just looks like scribbles. Okay, let's go with that. It just looks a little bit. Okay, let's write that again properly. That's better. Okay, so once we multiplied out each item of this equation by 1 minus x, 1 plus x, we have now successfully eliminated the denominator, the fraction denominator which we wanted to do. So they're gone now. That's good. So everything's at the top, and we have looks like linear on the left hand side and quadratic on the right hand. Let's start multiplying them out to make sense of it. So we have, this becomes 1 plus x. So you have minus 1 times by 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 times by minus x is plus x. And now you can have 2 times by whatever comes out of this. So 1 times by 1 is 1. Then you have plus x. Then you have minus x. And then you have minus x squared. Now these two will cancel each other out anyway. And these two will cancel each other out. And x side x will give you 2x on this side. So you're left with 2 times by 1 is 2. And they're left with 2 times by minus x squared, which is minus 2x squared. Okay, now, in order for us to make this into a quadratic equation which looks like it, we need to move everything from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Okay, so grab these, throw them over. So it was plus here, becomes minus. It was minus, becomes plus. So we now should have 2x squared plus 2x. And the plus 2 becomes minus 2 equals 0. So let's have a look how we're going to factorize this one. So in this one here, we're looking for all multiple, give you minus 2. And we need to get the plus 2 as well. So let's have a think about that. Okay, if you try factorizing this way, that won't work. So we need to try using the quadratic equation. So we can get rid of all this. So the easy way to do it. Let me see if we can get a rubber, but that rubber will take some time. Okay, let's have a look at the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation looks like this. X equals minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all of that divided by 2a. Now, here's my a value, so that's ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. So we can say quite clearly, see quite clearly that a is equal to 2, which is this one here, and that the b is equal to another 2 over there, and that the c is equal to minus 2. So here are our values that we're going to put into our calculator. So before we put them into our calculator, let's quickly put a box around this. There's our formula. Well, let's put some values in there now, so we can see what the question should look like. Okay, so we're just going to say x is equal to minus b. So the b is 2 minus 2. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 2 squared. Take away 4 times by a. A is 2 and c is 1. Okay, I think I'm going slightly off the screen here. Okay, let's just rewrite over here. X, okay. 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 Okay, that's better. That's quite nice actually. Right. Okay. Right. No, don't do that. Right. Okay. 4 times by. So we got 4 times by a is 2, and then times that by minus 2. And then all that divides by 2 times by 2. Now, what you can do, rather than putting all the minus in the calculator, these minus will become a plus anyway. You can eliminate that minus. Minus 4 times by minus 2 will give you plus 8. So they will come out in the wash. So you can just literally put them in as positives because it will be the same. So in the calculator, you can do like this. X equals minus 2 plus, for the first part, 2 squared plus 4 times by 2 times by 2. So you don't need to worry about the minuses, because they just cancel each other out anyway. So we put that in the calculator, grab our calculator here, our Casio calculator, and we put it into the calculator. So we get our, we put the fraction button. So first we'll put the minus 2. You can't put plus and minus, put plus at the moment. Plus the square root of 2 squared plus 4 times by 2 times by 2. Do that at the bottom. And that's going to be over 2 times by 2, which is 4. And that should give us our first answer, which is 0.61. So we have here x equals 0.618. So x equals 0.618, or we say that is 0.62 to 2 decimal places. That's the first solution, x1. Now we've got to go back and change this plus sign here that we have, changed that into a minus now. So if I grab my calculator once more and I use the replay button and I get it up into the right position here, I press replay button till it reaches here. Oops, I got too far across, and then delete, press minus, and then press equal again, and that should give us a new value. Press the SD button, so that gives x equals minus 1.62. Okay, so x2 equals minus 1.62 to 2 decimal places. Let me just quickly double check that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and that's the end of that question. Yeah, that question did take quite a bit more space, a bit more time to the question properly, and that in the exam would be typically worth about 4 or 5 marks in the GCSE higher paper. Okay, question number 7 now. What's left over here? We have x squared plus 7x plus 10, x squared minus 4. What we need to do before we start now, a lot of students get excited in these questions and go, oh yeah, let's cancel this with this, or this looks really nice, and let's start dividing this by 2 and divide that by 2. No, that you can't do stuff like that. That's not allowed. Or let's divide this 2x squared by that 2x squared, cancel this x with that x, and this 3 with that 9, and no, that's completely the wrong method. That's not allowed. Not allowed to do that. So I'm going to show you the correct method. Okay, let's get rid of all these lines. We need to factorize these quadratic equations first of all, and then cancel them down. So if you have x squared, we've got this horrible bogey color. Right, let's change it something nice. X squared plus 7x plus 10. 2 numbers time to give you 10, and add up to give you 7. So that'll be x plus 2, x plus 5. And the bottom one is called the difference of 2 squared. So it'll be x minus 2 times by x plus 2. And then you find out quite nicely, you find out here that we can nicely and quickly cancel down this with that. Done. So we're left with x plus 5 over x minus 2. And the next one, right, let's have a go at the next one. So we have, let's change this, the colors too similar. Let's go for blue. So we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So that will be a 2x in the first bracket. So we're looking for minus 3. Now, if I put the 2x opposite the minus 3, that'll give you minus 6x for the first one. Plus, that's lovely. That's good. That'll be for the top part. The top part. So 2x times by minus 3 is minus 6x, plus 1x gives you minus 5x. And then plus 1 times by minus 3 is minus 3. So it all works out. So we have 2x squared minus 3x minus 9 for the bottom. Again, we've got to have a 2x here, and the next for it to multiply to be 2x squared. We have a minus 9, so that'll be minus 3 and plus 3 in that orientation. So if you do 2x and we times that by minus 3, that'll give you minus 6x. And then you add the 3x, that'll give you back to being minus 3x. Now, can we cancel anything down? And the answer is yes. So divide that by x minus 3, divide that by x minus 3, and we're left with our answer. And our answer now is 2x add 1 divided by 2x plus 3. And that's the end of our short homework help, test help. Okay, thank you much for joining us on this question.